What's going on, folks? I am Goat. Welcome back to the breakdown. If I'm quiet or I sound like some drunken, horsey version of Barry White, I'm sorry. I'm still under the weather and my throat is fucked. But we trudge on nonetheless, right? So, here we go. God help us. Week 14. Rough fucking week for me, man. Rough week of picks for me. Thank God I at least got something decent to end the week to keep me from having my first losing week in ages. Okay? Because goddamn, what a fucking week. Oh, man. Everything that you think is going to go just didn't quite go, right? So, week 14, first game, Raiders at Rams. I picked Raiders for this one, and I'm just going to tell you right now, I think we're just going to have to go on opposite day from now on, because when I pick the Raiders to win, they lose, and when I don't pick the Raiders to win, they win. Here comes Baker fucking Mayfield on literally 46 and a half hours from arrival in LA to walking onto the field at SoFi Stadium. And holy fucking shit. Oh boy, I don't even know if it was SoFi. It was wherever. Yeah, it was SoFi because they were at home. Yeah, walking onto the field at home, second drive of the game, and looked really out of sorts as you would expect. And in the last 3 minutes of that fucking game, the stagnant Raiders just fell the fuck apart, and Baker Mayfield just picked them apart. I mean, kudos Baker Mayfield for at least redeeming himself, because, I mean, the dude obviously has talent. I'm not saying he does. He's got an ego problem, but he's also got talent, so he can back up part of his bullshit. But yeah, so the Raiders fall to the Rams 16-17. Bad pick on my choice. One that I would not have thought was going to be a loss, although I really should have gone with a broader thought process on this, but the Vikings at the Lions. The Lions have had a struggling up and down defense and an exceptionally powerhouse style offense with a bunch of half-assed no-name guys, except for like Jared Goff and Swift and things like that. I say that loosely. Please don't take that personally for any Detroit fans. God be with you in your venture for being a Detroit fan, because that is a school of hard knocks as being a football team fan. Vikings have had a mid-level defense with a pretty powerful offense. I mean, obviously being number 2 in the NFC coming into the week as it was, kind of spoke leaps and bounds to their function. Going against a struggling Lions team, the only thing that I didn't honestly account for was the fact that they were on a 5-game fucking winning streak coming into this game, being the Lions. And Dan Campbell has got one hell of a feisty team going on right now. They started the season 1-5, and now they're on a fucking 6-game win streak now? Yeah, Lions took down the Vikings 34-23 at home. Jesus. The next game. I actually figured that this would have been a redemption game, and honestly, it almost was, except for Mitchell Trubisky. Ravens at Steelers. If it wouldn't have been on, I think it was the first fucking drive of the game, Kenny Pickett getting knocked the fuck out of the game with a concussion, Mitch Trubisky coming in and throwing 3 fucking picks, because that man literally is a backup quarterback. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I don't care what he looked like in fucking college. That doesn't translate to the NFL well always. And he's a prime example. He is worse than Manziel, for Christ's sake. Okay, I don't think anybody can argue that at this point. Yeah, was he on the Bears and not have an amazing shot with the Bears? Sure, I'll give you that. But does he have the demeanor of somebody who really just empowers leadership across an offensive squad of grown-ass men in the NFL? Absolutely not. Does he have the skill set to do it? No. Trubisky's a backup. This game proved positive. This is the guy who was taking the first string reps going into the season and couldn't hack it, and they had to bring in their rookie. Anyway, the Ravens beat the Steelers 16-14, and honestly, what was just kind of a clusterfuck of a game. Okay? Whole lots of defense, very little offense. It was what it was. I don't know what to say. Bad pick for me because I chose the Steelers. Next game, Browns at Bengals. Guess what? Deshaun Watson. Yeah, what would he fucking do? Again. Looked like ass. Bengals just, beat the crap out of the fucking Browns 23-10. Deshaun looked like poop. I mean, I get the dude's rusty, but that kind of rust, like 16 to 18 months of rust, if not longer, I think it may have been longer. Um, you don't just cut a blank check like, and it's obviously not a blank check, but you don't just cut some massive check deal to a quarterback that, yes, is talented, but has that many legal allegations against him, for one, and then for two, has been off the field for the period of time that he was, throwing a temper tantrum initially, and then all the legal problems struck. So you don't cut a check like that to somebody and then expect your team to just gel around the guy, or your fan base for that matter. And guess what? As of right now, they're not. So yeah, Bengals win. I chose them to win. Next game, Jets at Bills. Didn't really think this was actually going to be close. Well, okay, I'm not saying that it wasn't going to be close, but I figured that the Bills defense would harass the shit out of Mike White. They did exactly that. Bills won 20-12. And on a side footnote in here, the Bills, as of today being the 13th of December, have re-signed Cole Beasley. Let's spend time with his family. Re-signed Cole Beasley to their practice squad, so you're coming to see him soon. Just saying. Next game. I am at a loss on both sides of this game. Texans at Cowboys. I chose Cowboys to win. Thank fucking God they actually pulled through on this one. And it's odd to say, because did the Texans not get the memo that they suck? I mean, truthfully, did they not get the memo that they're like the worst fucking team in the league? Did the Cowboys not get that memo either? Because their offense just looked fucked up. Their defense looked fucked up. I mean, the Cowboys are like, great game, bad game, great game, bad game. It's like playing a good game of good block, bad block in a shitty town. Although this town's cool to still walk on a sidewalk in, or this street's good to walk on the sidewalk. Next block, nope, stay the fuck away. You get a bullet in your ass. That's how the Cowboys are this season. I don't know what the fuck to say about that team. But yeah, Cowboys won 27-23 over the Texans. So at least they won. Next game, Eagles at Giants. Absolutely no shocker except for the score. Okay. I figured it would be closer because Wink Martindale has had the Giants defense looking pretty stout this season. I mean, they've had some fluctuations and some flutters, and obviously I believe it's his first season as their DC. So I do get that they're going to have some hiccups, but this was beyond a hiccup. This was a fuck up. Okay. Yeah, Eagles beat the living snot out of the Giants 48-22. Good night. Sleep tight, sweetheart. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Did I really not put that fucking score in? I didn't, because I am apparently dumb. Next game. The one I didn't put the score in for. Jaguars at Titans. I chose Titans to pick this one because honestly, although I do think the Jaguars have got what it takes to beat the Titans, and I do think that the Jaguars are better than their record, as I've been saying for quite a bit of this season, aside from early on, because the first few weeks, you never know, and them coming off of a very tumultuous coaching problem and just a complete lack of, anybody buying into anything because of Urban Meyer existing in that team. Yeah, nobody really knew what to expect out of the Jaguars, but after about week 4, everybody kind of saw that there was talent there, and it was just really raw. And so they've had really good games and really fucked up games. And this was a good game for them. I chose the Titans to win because I thought the defense would be able to contain them better than they did. And guess what? They did not. They did not. Trevor Lawrence had some kind of questionable plays that worked out in their favor, but overall, they took down the Titans 26-22. Good on them, man. Good on them. Next game. Chiefs at Broncos. Chiefs win 34-28. Obviously my pick. I'm just gonna, again, unbiased, say it as simple as it is. The Chiefs were literally their own worst enemy. The average scored points by the Broncos this season per game is 13 points. Russell Wilson had 5 touchdowns on the season going into this game, and I think he had 3 in this game. 2 or 3? Something like? I don't know. Russell Wilson was knocked out with a concussion in the fourth quarter. I think he had 1 actually, but still, the Broncos have been stagnant as all fucking get out this season. And the Chiefs Mahomes threw 3 fucking picks. I mean, granted, he threw 3 touchdowns, but he also threw 3 picks, and 2 of them were just obliviously, insanely bad throws. I don't know what the fuck he was doing there. But Yeah, I mean, the Chiefs were their own worst enemy, and they literally gave the Broncos their best game of the season. That's as much as I can say about that. Chiefs did end up pulling out at the end and persevering, but I don't really think that that means that we give them credit. So it is what it is. Next game, Panthers at Seahawks. Another shocker for me. I mean, this was my response to this game. Just what? Panthers at Seahawks. Panthers won 30-24 over the Seahawks. Random ass fucking game. That's the best I got. Random score. I chose the Seahawks to win. My neighbor has somebody over there with a dragster in front of their fucking house. And I was incorrect. So yeah, it is what it is. Next game, Buccaneers at 49ers. I chose 49ers. I didn't really think it was going to be too fucking close, even with Mr. Irrelevant as their quarterback, simply because the 49ers defense against the extremely struggling Buccaneers offense. And I was right. 49ers won this game 35-7 over the Bucs. That was a terrible, terrible game for Brady and the offense and their defense. It was just rough all the way around for the Bucs. Next game, another shocker. I figured this one could potentially be close, but I didn't think with the depleted Chargers defense that they were going to be able to keep up with the Dolphins. Dolphins at Chargers. I chose Dolphins to win. I was incorrect. I don't want to hear any more about Tua's accuracy. He's a human, okay? Tua, 10 for 28 for 145 yards and a touchdown. He went in at halftime where he was, I think, he was like 2 for 6 or some shit. It was terrible. Tua looked absolutely rattled this entire fucking game. I mean, he looked terrible this entire game. And then, of course, Tyreek Hill has some sort of a shin or ankle injury, so that wasn't helping them. Hill made a hell of a heads-up play to keep him in the game with a fumble recovery for like a 56-yard touchdown. But, I mean, they were just this game. I mean, the Chargers just owned their ass this entire game. Final game, Patriots at Cardinals. Amazingly, the Cardinals really honestly actually held control over this game until basically the fourth quarter, and then the Patriots just put in the gas. I think Mac Jones just finally had enough of whatever their offensive coordinator play calling position was, and I don't know if he was just calling plays from the fucking line or what, but I mean, he was repeatedly cussing out the fucking sideline every time out and every commercial break. Like, he is just so fed up with their horse shit, and I think he's going to turn into Peyton Manning before too long as far as just calling his own shit at the fucking line. Just be like, here, you know what? Give me like 12 options. I'll pick one when I get there. Yeah, Patriots finished out the game 27-13, and they were my choice to win. And thank fuck that they won, because I came out 7-6 for this fucking week. God damn. I mean, dude, that was so close to me having a losing week. So now puts me at, let's see, 101 wins, 56 losses, and a tie for the season. And let's go into next week's picks. 49ers at Cardinals. I don't think there's really going to be much of a question there. The Cardinals are just entirely too erratic. So let's go with the 49ers on that one. Dolphins at Bills. That is an intriguing fucking game. I'm going to go Bills on that one. Colts at Vikings. I think the Colts are feeling ashamed of themselves and are going to redeem themselves against the struggling Colts. Falcons at Saints. I think the Saints defense has just enough to keep the Falcons at bay, especially at home. We'll see. Giants at Commanders. Let's see. The last time they played, guess what? Yeah, they fucking tied. I'm going to go Commanders at home for this one for the win. Probably a risky bet, but I think they are feisty enough to get the job done. Ravens at Browns. The Ravens are such a mess. And so are the Browns. But the Ravens defense is having severe problems in the fourth quarter. The Ravens offense is in shambles. I'm going to go on a extreme left field reach and say the Browns are going to win this one on the ground. Eagles at Bears. If anybody picks the Bears for any kind of a redeeming win on this one, God be with you. Lions at Jets. Given the offensive struggles and the fact that the fucking Lions are trucking along and trudging along and trying to win out, I'm going with the Lions on this one for another surprise pick for myself anyway. Steelers at Panthers. Given the fact that Trubisky's starting, and he basically just hands the ball. Like, I think he might as well just snap the ball and hand it to a nose tackle. I don't even know who to pick on this game. I really don't. I'm going to go with Panthers on the win. I really am. That's a terrible thing to say because the Steelers probably going to win it. But I can't trust Mitchell Trubisky. I don't care how good the defense is. If you're just literally keeping your defense on the field for so much of the game, how do you trust it? Chiefs at Texans. I'm going to go Chiefs on this one because I don't like the Chiefs are having struggles, man. Like the last 3 or 4 games, the Chiefs are definitely having red zone struggles. They're having secondary struggles. There's a lot of struggles going on. So there is an opening here for the Texans to actually get an upset win out of this. But I just don't see them scheming it up that badly and playing it out that badly. So I am going to go Chiefs on that one. Cowboys at Jaguars. See, I shoot these from the hip. I'm not... Hello. I'm not looking at the team's stats. I'm really not. Oh, man. I'm just literally trying to turn the volume down. Cool. Yeah, I'm not looking at stats and records. I'm just looking at what I know from the last week or the last couple of weeks. And honestly, the Jaguars had a semi... they've had a close game the last 2 weeks. And their last game was against a very good defense, and they're about to go against a very good defense again, against an offense that is up and down. And their defense is up and down. So this is a really interesting matchup because it's actually a really close matchup. I'm going to go Jaguars at home. Probably wrong. God damn it. Now, you know what? I'm going to take Cowboys. I'm going to regret that one, but I'm going to take the Cowboys. Cardinals at Broncos. I think the Broncos are going to go in there feeling like they're 10 feet tall and bulletproof, and they're going to lose. So Cardinals over the Broncos. Titans at Chargers. Truthfully, I think the Chargers are going to take that game. Chargers need to win out. The Titans have a touch of wiggle room. Not a lot, but a touch of wiggle room. I say not a lot, but let's look. Seriously, let's look. Divisions. Yeah, they've got a 2-game lead over the Jaguars. So they could stand to lose a game if they had to, and it wouldn't be the end of the world to where the Chargers are sitting second place 3 games out. So the Chargers are going to be playing for their fucking lives, even depleted. So I think the Chargers are going to take the Titans. I think it will be a very close game. I think they'll do it. Bengals at Buccaneers. I'm going Bengals all the way on that one. I don't think the Bucs stand a chance in hell at that one. Patriots at Raiders. Well, here goes me being wrong again. Let's just go Patriots because the Raiders are just not trustworthy at all. And Rams at Packers. That is interesting as shit. That is so fucking interesting. Man. Is Mayfield going to have magic 2 weeks in a row, especially since he can actually learn the fucking playbook this week? I'm going to go Rodgers at home. It's going to be a cold fucking game. Yeah, I think Rodgers is going to be better prepped for that. So those are my picks for week 15. Obviously, previous was week 14. Y'all let me know what you think, man. You guys know the deal, right? You know the deal. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. And as always, I'm hitting buttons just so you know. I'll catch you next week. All right, guys.